global happenings today. We communicate, we analyze global news. Stay tuned.
Hello guys, welcome back to our channel. Have you subscribed? Please, if you have not, please do so by clicking on the red subscribe button below. Beside it, you will see a bell notification icon. Go ahead, click on it to get notified as soon as we update our channel on YouTube. Okay, we are looking at China-Nigeria relationship. It's actually in news now that a lot of countries are suffering from the pandemic. Ours in Nigeria has been a combination of hunger virus and the coronavirus, all hitting deep into the economy of Nigeria. And even Nigerians have reacted with the PPP challenge championed by Omoyele Sowore, which is the pot pan protest, showing that the pans are empty, our foodstuffs are empty, even our stomach are even more empty than any other thing around us. So the Nigerian lawyers have decided to do the needful, as they have traced the hardship of the country down to China, and they have demanded for $200 billion damages for what China have cost Nigeria. But let's hear what they're saying. The coalition of Nigerian legal practitioners have dragged the People's Republic of China to court over the effect of the coronavirus outbreak on the West African giant. The lawyers are demanding $200 billion as damages for the loss of lives, economic strangulation, trauma, hardship, social disorientation, mental torture, disruption of normal daily existence of the people of Nigeria, especially in Nigeria. This was contained in a statement led by the lead prosecutor. I'm talking about Professor Epifina Azinge San, that's senior advocate of Nigeria. Azinge's law firm, that's Azinge and Azinge, is championing the legal action, stressing that they had concluded pleadings for the class action against the Chinese government. The statement added that the team of legal experts planned a two-phase line of action. First, it's with the Federal High Court of Nigeria, and secondly, to persuade the government of the Federal Republic of Nigeria to institute a state action against the People's Republic of China at the International Court of Justice at Hague. The legal experts will be claiming damages to the tune of $200 billion. The Chinese government will be served through its embassy in Nigeria. Azinge is currently a member of the Commonwealth Arbitrary Tribunal London, representing Nigeria and Africa. That's a good one. But let's bring this home. Let's look at this very critically. Nigerians have reacted to this. A lot of Nigerians have gone online, and a lot of them I can't stand with Nigerians on this. This is a good idea. It's a wonderful idea. It's fantastic, and that means an average Nigerian is actually proactive. An average Nigerian knows their right, they know their onions, they know what to expect. But the truth is, let's look at the two clauses I'm saying here that will make it very unrealistic, really, to make it almost impossible for this legal action to see the light of day. He said there are two phases actually, and two-phase line of action they intend to do. They say first of all go to the Federal High Court of Nigeria first and then secondly they will have to persuade the government of the Federal Republic of Nigeria to institute an action against the People's Republic of China at the International Court of Justice. How? My people, how would it happen? To start with, Nigeria is fantastically corrupt. Let's look at this critically. Let's leave what is obtainable. Let's look at what is realizable in Nigeria. And this is what is realizable. The truth is, I don't see this thing coming to pass. That's because from even the Federal High Court to fail. Why? You want to go and spoil a relationship that the government of the day are carrying pan in hand to go and beg for money, and you're telling them that you want to go and fight them with damages of 200 billion. Who will give you that? Is it the government of the day that personally brought in Chinese doctors where other countries are saying we don't need them right now? They personally went, chartered airpiece, 14 hours non-stop flight all the way from Nigeria to China, non-stop, no stopover anywhere, just to get the Chinese doctors, Chinese personnel, experts in Nigeria. For whatever reasons, we have no idea. But they said it's just for doctors and to CCEAC that brought them in. But time will tell eventually why they came here. Now, that's the same Chinese. You are saying that you want to sue them $200 billion for damages. How? That if not for the COVID-19, they were already begging China again for another $22.7 billion loan to help them refurbish. God knows what they are refurbishing, because till today Nigerians are still wondering what they are using all those loans for, because we are yet to feel the impact of those loans even in our economy up till today. And already they have started taxing Nigerians to repay those loans. Now that's the same government. You say you first of all, is a two-phase action. First, you're looking at first of all getting approval from federal government, from the High Court. Then you now persuade the federal government to issue a state. Who? How? Just fairly recently, they gave Nigeria $48 million naira to help them support, cushion the effect of COVID-19 in their economy. We saw the check. It was boldly given, and the Nigerian government was opening their teeth, smiling, grinning ear to ear in happiness that yes, this is a good alliance, a good relationship. And that's what some lawyers, though yes, they are senior advocates of Nigeria, yes, but they on their own, it's going to be a bit difficult. It has to be country by country level. Who will sign it? Is it the federal government? Is it the government of the day? Much as is commendable, it's not realistic in Nigeria. Nigeria right now are in their need of the relationship. I'm talking about the government of Nigeria. They in fact they cherish the financial relationship they have with Chinese. They have no intention whatsoever, to break it. Yes, they may go about diplomatic words. The way you guys have treated our citizens in your country has not been nice and all that. But is there any reasonable action taken against such activity? None. Other countries have risen up. Other countries have shown the fact that they don't want it, and they have beginning to react accordingly. But here in Nigeria, the reverse is the case. So for the lawyers to have done this, kudos to them. Honestly, they have done well. They've done noble. But the truth is, it's not realizable. But let's just hear one or two things Nigerians have said online that is quite commendable. This one here is saying, which China? Are they not the same Chinese people that Nigerian government still spent millions to invite to our nations? How can you drag your helper to court? That's the same thing I just said. The truth of the matter is, the Nigerian government are looking up to China. Okay, that's the word. They're looking up to China. So why would you want to drag somebody to court for 200 billion damages? You don't want them to give them that loan again. It's not visible now. They know they know the underground politics they've been playing within themselves. So commendable as the lawyers have done, that their works and their activities have been quite commendable, but it's not realistic, at least not in a fantastically corrupt nation like Nigeria. This one here say, how can you prove the virus is from China? We don't want to know. The truth of the matter is, the virus has come to Nigeria and it is ravaging Nigerians, and it has caused a lot of havoc in our economy. This one here is saying, if you can sue China, what have you been doing since for not suing the federal government of Nigeria for bad governance, empowering terrorists, embezzling of public funds, empty corruption fight, restructuring issue, and spread of COVID-19 during Aba crisis and Aba Kyari's burial and so on? But that's the truth also. If you look at it critically, if these lawyers know their onions, that they can actually sue Chinese, okay, for damages, why can't we also bring our government of the day accountable for every law that's not been enforced? Back to back, we have seen situations where citizens have been marginalized. Fulani husband have had a field day, maiming, killing, and doing all manner, and nothing has been done. If we have this sharp, quote unquote, this very learned lawyers, senior advocates of Nigeria, who seem to know their rights and all that, how come they have not held the government of the day very accountable? That's actually a good one. Charity, they say, begins at home. Why not start from home? Correct your mess. Why not start from home? hold the government of the day very accountable. We haven't, and that's because I don't know, but it's a good one. The man who is actually moving this font is someone who has international exposure. But the truth is, will the government of the day oblige him? Of which I don't see it happening really. Just as he has announced it, it just be swept under the carpet, because the truth of the matter is, from the judiciary to the legislature to even the executive, it has fully been compromised. That's why sometimes back to back, I keep seeing, each time I listen to Senate, you can just, out of the so many senators sitting in both the green chamber and the red chamber, I kind of have 1 or 2 or 3 members, their names offhand, just because they've been very articulate. They have been speaking for the masses. Others seem to just be there just to collect constituency money, project money, and their salaries and allowances, and sitting allowances, and go home. They don't even know what it takes to be a legislature. Sometimes as they will even go as far as asking if they can help the executive to make laws that will suit them. Very crazy ideas, I tell you. But then this is the country we found ourselves in, and that's the same country that the lawyers are insisting that they want to persuade the government of Nigeria to go and sue their helper, financial helper. Please, in the heart of every Nigerian, average Nigerian, they want a functional country. They want a situation where everyone who had done one evil or the other will be brought to book. We want a situation where all our African brothers who have suffered one form of mayhem or the other in the hands of the Chinese are actually brought to book and accountable, and justice be met. But the truth is, not in this present dispensation, and not the way it is being done. Because the truth is, a lot of our leaders, particularly coming from Nigeria, may not rise up above what they are thinking right now, because the truth is, they still need money. They still need that relationship with China, not because of anything, probably because of the financial assistance they usually enjoy, quote unquote. But that's where we're going to wrap it up. What do you think about the lawyers asking that demanded $200 billion damages from China? And this can only be achieved if first they go to Federal High Court to get a hearing in Federal High Court, then persuade the federal government of Nigeria, the government of the day, to sue Chinese in international court of justice. Honestly, I don't see it happening. What do you think? Let's meet in the comment section. Don't also forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Stay